Before I can even explain why fantasy football is so brutal for me this year, I have to explain to you guys what fantasy football is, and I'm gonna make it really brief. In a team, you have a quarterback. Quarterback is usually the guy that throws the ball to another player. One of their biggest targets would be a wide receiver, and if he doesn't throw to the wide receiver, he could always just give it to a running back. In a fantasy team, you have 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs. A position I won't get into that much would be the tight end. So in 2024, I decided to manage 5 teams. 5 teams is kind of a lot, dude. Like, I don't know how you can manage 5 teams. Guess what? We're fucking winning! I fucking cashed out, dude. In my 5 teams, I got first place in 1, second place in 2 teams, and third place in 2 teams. So that's crazy. We're going to the moon with this, bro. I'm a fucking pro. So naturally, in 2025, I had this great idea of running it back because obviously I want to get more gains. Now, in order to get more gains, I had to manage more teams. So this year, I decided to manage 7 teams. Oh my fucking god. Like, there's just so much going on, right? So I try not to get as spread out of a team as possible. I try to keep the same guys as much as possible. So how do you make a team? I'm not gonna get into that because it is going to be a headache just for you guys to listen to me yap about draft orders and values and stuff, but basically each round you get 1 player, and the best players you can get are in the first 2 rounds. Now there are a bunch of YouTube videos online about fantasy strategies, which about 80% of it is about the first 2 rounds, because again, these are the best possible players you can get. There are actually a couple pros for double running back. In fact, I wanted to do this strategy, which is that they are super involved in the game, they tend to get touchdowns, and there are pretty much 3 ways they can get points, which is yards per carry, points per reception, and touchdowns. And so if you get amazing running backs, it's a pretty good strategy. However, there is a huge downside to this strategy, which is that running backs actually get injured a lot. And credit to the pros because they actually do have the data and shit. I'm just a casual, but basically the chances of a running back getting injured is way higher than a wide receiver. And not just that, you can also get a running back in the later rounds that are really solid. And so that's why the pros are highly suggesting you go for 2 wide receivers in round 1 and round 2. And so that's what I did. I pretty much followed this strategy in all 7 drafts. Weirdly enough, I was in the first overall position in 4 of my teams, and so I got the best wide receiver in the league, which is Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver because he has Joe Burrow who can get the ball to him. He is the wide receiver 1 in the highest scoring offense in the NFL. It's a sure win. And so that's why I got 4 of him. Joe Money. This is a lock, okay? If you don't get Jamar Chase first overall, you're kind of throwing. The only reason why you didn't get Jamar Chase is if you go for the double running back strategy, but if you're not going for the double running back strategy, you're getting this guy. Another wide receiver that I got a lot of this year, which is Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is a very interesting wide receiver because he is the #1 wide receiver of the Washington Commanders, who made it to the NFC Championship with Rookie of the Year Jaden Daniels. And during the offseason, the Commanders were ranked at like top 10, sometimes even top 5 teams in the NFL. So getting the wide receiver 1 in a team that made it to the championship with a really solid quarterback and one of the top teams in the NFL, hell yeah, I got 4 of them, dude. And lastly, another wide receiver that I got a fuck ton of is Garrett Wilson. Now, if you actually do know fantasy football or even football period, you'd be raising alarm bells. Why am I fucking listening to this guy? I bought into Garrett Wilson since he was a freaking rookie, dude. He has not been doing well because his quarterback just sucked ass, okay? And so when I heard that Justin Fields is going to the Jets, again, people are still gonna really criticize me about this, but I'm a huge Justin Fields fan, and Justin Fields, who did pretty decent with the Steelers, is now replacing Aaron Rodgers, who's 41 years old. It would be an improvement for Garrett Wilson, you know? And so that's why I got 4 of them. And so with Jamar Chase, a #1 overall wide receiver, Scary Terry, who I believed was pretty undervalued in the draft, and Garrett Wilson, who has an improved offense, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do well in fantasy, right? Right? Three quarterbacks. Like, what are my wide receivers gonna do? You can't catch the ball without the thrower. And with the 3 throwers in the hospital in week 3. It left my 3 wide receivers with who are these guys? I actually do know these guys. If you guys are gonna flame me, I'm cooked. I'm fucking cooked. I don't know. All right, so if your star wide receivers are all gonna be garbage, why don't you just replace them, right? Okay, let's take a look at my bench. I got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I was so happy I got, okay? Why am I so excited? Because they're in the Eagles. Not only did they make the Super Bowl, they fucking won it, okay? They won the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts, who is a serviceable quarterback. I believe that if you have 2 wide receivers in the best team in the NFC, which is honestly, arguably right now, the Eagles are still the best team in the NFL, you'd assume that they'd get a lot of points, right? Jalen Hurts. He just barely got over 100 yards in week 2. What the fuck are we talking about, dude? Okay, just to give you guys a little idea of what I expected, or what Yahoo Fantasy told me to expect in week 1 and 2 combined. Okay, 24.76, 24.17. It should be great. Until it wasn't. Fuck off, okay? Fuck off. What do you mean AJ Brown got me 5.6 points in 2 weeks? Devontae Smith, 10.4 points. That's 5 points a fucking week. I'm expecting this to be a shootout this week, okay? Because last week was kind of BS with the tush push, with the runs. It was just so fucking dumb. The Eagles are fucking frauds, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, so yeah, it's only week 3. There are 17 total weeks in fantasy football. Well, how are the 7 teams doing? How are my 7 teams putting up with all this BS? Well, I have 2 teams at 2-2. I got 2 teams that are 1-1 and 3 teams 0-2. Even the 2 teams that are undefeated, they're 2nd place. They're not even 1st place. What the heck? Both my wins and let's see teams, I don't know how long they're gonna last because everything is just projected to go down at this point. All my fucking guys. And then the losing teams that are 0-2, if they lose week 3, I don't know how I'm gonna come back from that because again, all these players are going downhill. And what really sucked was, I felt like I did so well assembling these fucking teams, especially this team. Look at this. The name of the team is Kevin Ate This Up because I thought I ate this up. I thought I did really well drafting. I thought I assembled a god squad. I'm 9th place. 9th. 9 out of 10. Let's take a look at this team, okay? These are the players in Kevin Ate This Up, okay? A 0-2 team. Baker Mayfield, the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They won their division, super solid quarterback, super clutch, incredible offense, like their running backs are great, their wide receivers, well, they're kind of banged up right now, but come on, Aguka, Mike Evans, they're pretty solid. In fact, we don't even know when Chris Godwin's gonna come back, but when Chris Godwin comes back, things are gonna look up for Baker Mayfield. How is he doing? He's doing great. I watched them go up against the Texans. Baker clutch Mayfield, bro. Baker clutch Mayfield. Taking a look at Jamar Chase and Terry McLaurin. Jamar Chase put up fucking how many points? Let me take a look. It felt like 3 points. I'm not gonna lie. Let me take a look. Jamar Chase in week 1 expected to get 16.8 points. Gave me 3.6 points. That's fucking garbage. He did come back when he got me 29.5 points with a backup quarterback. Terry McLaurin has been fucking butt cheeks so far. I expected him to do decent to good, and he's just not great. And again, I'm talking about fantasy. Even if Terry locks in, we just don't know how well he's gonna do without Jaden Daniels. We're just gonna see what it's like for these 2 players. I also drafted Tyreek Hill and Bucky Irving. I was so excited that I got both of them in my team. You may be wondering why Tyreek is checkmarked. Well, Tyreek wasn't expected to play really well. He is super fast, but he's in a really, really bad offense with Tua. Tua turned the ball over. He was going to play mid. I just thought maybe he's going to pop off, but man, it's whatever. It's whatever. I got what I paid for, so I'm not mad. And then we got Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving, it has good targets, which means he will get more points because he will receive the ball more. He is reliable, and he is expected to do good. He hasn't exceeded expectations, and he hasn't disappointed me yet, so it's, you know what, he's perfectly fine. We'll see how things are gonna go in the future. We got Mark Andrews, who, as a Ravens fan, oh god, like the drop balls, dude. The drop balls are pissing me off. I was a big Mark Andrews fan and I still am. But with all due respect, I'm not shocked that people are dropping him and putting him in the fucking waivers, okay? I can't believe that I have Mark Andrews and I'm fucking benching him for Juwan Johnson, bro. I got a tight end from the Saints, one of the worst teams in the NFL. But he did really good the first 2 weeks and a lot of people are starting him, so I scooped him up from the street and I'm starting him. I'm starting him over Mark Andrews. I cannot believe this. Mark Andrews, not so long ago, was a top 3 tight end. In my bench, I got Xavier Worthy, who I was so happy I got him. And then Travis Kelce, in the first drive of the season, puts him in the fucking hospital. Are you fucking serious? Thanks, Travis. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. That's... And this sucks because I used to hate Worthy. I thought Worthy was overrated. And now that I have the speedster and I'm on this Xavier Worthy train, this sucks. This fucking sucks. I was really rooting for the guy. And lastly, Etienne. Etienne, he's probably the best pick in this team. I was not expecting him. He exceeded expectations. The entire team, everyone pretty much met their expectations or lowered them and are projected to decline. But Etienne's probably the only guy in my team that is standing strong, did good, and is either gonna stay consistent or just keeps going up. And so yeah, that's how my fantasy football teams are going right now. Absolutely fucking horrendous. It's definitely my fault for drafting a lot of Justin Fields, but also at the same time, you can't expect me to work under these conditions. It would be a lie if I said that I was optimistic. This might be the year I fucking quit fantasy football. This is the reason why I made this video in the fucking first place, because I just don't know how much fucking pain I could tolerate. There needs to be some change in my team if I'm going to make it to the finals, because I just don't know how I'm gonna get there with my team right now. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and comment down below if you guys want to see more videos like this. It's my first commentary video in so long. I'm really happy I get to do this again. If you guys like this style of video, please let me know. I'm just experimenting at this point. See you guys next one. Peace out.